With the arrival of the Dragon spacecraft that's now berthed to ISS, there's obviously plenty of new experiments to unload. There's a new plant investigation that is among all of the payloads launched and berthed to the station called Seedling Growth 2. It's a collaboration between NASA Ames Research Center and the European Space Agency. The principal investigator, John Kiss, is the dean of the graduate school at the University of Mississippi in Oxford. Lori Meggs, my colleague at the Marshall Space Flight Center, had a chance to speak with him recently at the Kennedy Space Center before launch about the experiment.
So Seedling Growth is an experiment that is in collaboration with the European Space Agency, and we're interested in the growth and development of plants in space. We're particularly interested in the role of gravity and light in plant growth and development. We actually have three different runs, and the runs are about 6 or 7 days each. So the seedlings are about 6 days old when we do the experiments.
There's been research over the years, right? What makes yours different, and what do you hope to learn?
Well, one of the things that makes our project different is we're actually, in addition to microgravity, we're looking at reduced gravity levels. We're using a facility called the European Modular Cultivation System. We have the ability to do the experiment in microgravity, but also use a centrifuge to give it varying amounts of gravity. So we actually could do the Moon-Mars level of gravity. And while there's a lot, as you said, known about plants grown in space and microgravity, there's very little known about plant growth and development in reduced gravity environments.
What does it look like?
We're looking at tiny seedlings. They're about 1.5 inches of the plant Arabidopsis thaliana. It's called a mouse-eared cress. And we're sending up seeds, and the seeds will be watered and they'll develop in the microgravity environment.
And does the crew water them, or how does that, or is it?
It's a semi-automatic system. The crew is involved in loading the containers into the European Modular Cultivation System, and they're involved after the seedlings develop and we're done with the experiment. We freeze the seedlings in the -80 freezer, so they're involved in that process.
So you freeze them, then they're returned to Earth?
Yes,
at some point.
they'll be returned on a future SpaceX mission.
What is your interest in having an experiment like this on the space station?
Well, first of all, this is a series. We had a Seedling Growth 1, this is Seedling Growth 2. I think that microgravity is a very unique environment in which to study very important basic problems in biology and plant biology, and it gives us a really unique opportunity to study plants in microgravity. And as I said, with the EMCS, we also could study them in these reduced or fractional gravity environments that are like Moon, Mars. I'm the American PI. There's a European PI, Javier Medina from Madrid, and we're sending up different types, different strains and types of seeds. And some of the types are the ones I'm interested in, and there are some other ones that he's interested in. So we're going to be adding the European dimension to this flight.
What have we learned from the first one?
Well, we're still in the process of analyzing the data, but what I could tell you from the preliminary data, it actually looks like the gravity levels on Mars are probably going to be adequate in terms of gravity for plant growth, which was a really surprising finding. The gravity level on Mars is 3/8 G compared to the Earth gravity levels. So it seems like in our reduced gravity studies using the centrifuge that that gravity level will be adequate for plant development.
Do they grow like normal seeds?
Actually, what was remarkable is at the Mars level of gravity, they do grow pretty much like the Earth nominal or Earth normal plants. That was kind of a surprising finding, and we're following up on that in the Seedling Growth too. So we're doing basic science, but I think the kinds of things that we're going to be learning from this project are going to be in the long term very applicable to growing plants on Earth, because the parameters of particularly light is a very important parameter obviously for plant growth, and I think we'll be able to get some unique insights which will help us probably in the long term develop some some crops that could grow in very challenging environments